So there's a lot of competition in the space, and I would say most of it probably resides in the meme coin space. Lots of coins being launched with that really don't frankly have that much utility. And some of them are doing quite well. All right. It's not a knock on them. And I will say this, Shib has again emerged from this meme coin sector, and it's becoming something much different. But what really truly separates Shiba Inu from the other coins in the space is this ability to become hyper deflationary, to become not just the most aggressively growing meme coin in the space, but to become the overall best store of value in crypto, even outpacing what BTC does. All right. Now, again, this is not financial advice. There's no guarantees, but this is how you go from printing millionaires again this cycle to printing them cycle over cycle over cycle, is removing large portions of supply. Now, I've said recently that I don't think that removing large portions of supply is a big deal when it comes to moving up price in the near term. And I still 100% believe that. I do not think that Shib needs to remove large portions of supply to get to what 0.002. I think that a normal market cycle brings that about. This is obviously not financial advice. When we start talking about 1 cent and 10 cents and $1 and $10, you need to remove large portions of supply to do this. Now, we were on pace to actually do this. This Shib ecosystem dev team, this community-driven project is actually very good, okay? Now, I may get flack for saying that, but what they're doing, the way that they're approaching, marketing and getting projects involved with Shibarium and things like that, it's very good. I've always said they're very, very good when it comes to marketing. They're very good when it comes to getting attention. But the two things that they're really bad at are transparency and follow through. And right now we've definitely felt kind of a disconnect when it comes to the Shiba Inu community. And that's a problem, because if Shib goes hyper deflationary, this is the easiest path to do it because of how they're doing things. Now, we've talked about these burns before. The Shib ecosystem dev team, they had basically these burn fees ramp up. We were actually removing hundreds of thousands of dollars in fees that were collected that were supposed to be converted to Shiba Inu and subsequently burned. And they have not done this for the most part. In fact, it's been almost 2 months since the last ecosystem dev team burn. Okay. And there still currently sits $266,000 worth of bone in this wallet that still has to be converted to Shiba Inu and subsequently burned. All right. Now, where I have a problem is there are many times where it has, in fact, been advantageous to do this. They could have converted this bone to Shib, where bone was outpacing Shiba Inu, removing larger portions of supply, and they decided not to do it. They said that, oh, yeah, it wouldn't have been beneficial for the bone price. And what they don't understand is if there are dips in the charts and you show follow through, that's when people buy stuff up. But apparently people don't understand, even them, they don't understand tokenomics. They don't understand market psychology and things like that. But that's a completely different discussion for a different video. But what we've now seen is bone has actually done quite well. Over the last 7 days, it's actually up 38%. But the problem is Shiba Inu is up over 100% over the last 7 days. So Shib is outpacing bone. So now, even though that, removing $266,000 worth of Shib supply, buying Shib on the open market and removing it, although it would make probably a good impact in price because we're in thinner levels of liquidity when it comes to Shiba Inu, the problem is to get hyper deflationary, you need to remove larger portions of supply. Because Shib has been outpacing bone, we're removing less supply than we could have before. And that doesn't necessarily help us in the long run. Now, will they get back on track? Will they get back to this point of removing large portions of Shiba Inu supply? That's kind of the big question. Again, the transactions on Shibarium, we've talked about them being artificially inflated. They've been artificially inflated for a while. And the problem is they don't need to do this. If they were to return things back to normal, stop doing whatever they're doing behind the scenes, and just let things grow organically, have more projects launched, build more partnerships, and just let it grow and return the fees back to what they were before, we could see this hyper deflationary status revert back to what it was before. Large portions of Shiba Inu supply removed in a very short period of time. And I will say this, there is competition in the space. Are some of these other chains that are being developed for Shiba Inu going to do this? Maybe. I think, I think Ryoshi Research was mostly just focused on adoption. I think the Shib Association chain, I think that is supposed to have burns. So there there are some things that will happen that are going to be beneficial for SHIB. And I'm sure over this market cycle, we see more of these things emerge, more projects that are focused on removing Shiba Inu supply. The thing is Shiba Inu has an extremely strong community that is focused on removing supply. So I have no doubt that over time, we're going to get to this point. It's just a question of when it finally kicks in, when we finally get that point where we go from removing billions of Shiba Inu to trillions of Shiba Inu. Okay. So that's just what I wanted to share with everyone. I hope that this ecosystem dev team, I hope that it finally clicks and they're like, okay, yeah, we need to get back to being SHIB centric and SHIB focused, because if they're not, you're alienating a large group that could easily adopt your chain and easily adopt what you're doing. But the problem is if you keep biting the hand that feeds you, it's going to stop feeding you. Okay. So I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on this. I think Bone and Leash are probably going to do well regardless. Again, they're very much focused on marketing and pushing things forward, but I still think SHIB has that potential for extreme rates of growth, even if they don't get it figured out. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.